I got this new roller stick, Tiger Tail Classic for mobility. Some of you might recall that I had one of these a while ago, and I used it for a while because Brett Gibbs recommended it, and then I kind of stopped using it, and then I lost it. So after I went and filmed Eric Lillibridge squatting, and I saw he using, I think it was this one too. I tried to get the most similar one that he used. I saw him using this, and he said he uses it all the time, and it's a lifesaver for him. And that kind of just got the idea alive in my head again. You know what? If Brett recommended it originally, and Eric also lives by it, might not be a bad idea to get one of these and start including it in my squat day. So, got one of these bad boys off Amazon. I just got restocked in Accessory Whey and the new pre-workout Pre-Grow, which I love. Their whey is awesome. I recommend chocolate and cookies and cream. I wanted to try their vanilla because I never had, but I'm not really a vanilla guy in general. It's good, I like it. But chocolate and cookies and cream are my favorites. I'm gonna finish up the rest of this original Pre-Grows because there's not much left. I love this stuff too, honestly. I only like using like an inch and a half of water, 2 at most, with pre-workout, just because I feel like if you make the water bottle full of pre-workout and you drink all that before you train, that's when you start like burping up pre-workout and stuff, and that's gross and distracting. So just a tiny little bit of water, down it in one swig like a shot, and then there's no bloat or burp from all the water. If you want to stock up on whey, pre-workout, etc. for low price, go to accessory.com. It's in the info box below. Use the discount code NWB15 and it'll take 15% off of everything. Doesn't matter how much you order, everything, 15% off of it. I want to thank you guys for supporting and watching that the Lillibridge video and the Eric Lillibridge squat video of him squatting 1,045 pounds. I flew out there on my own dime, stayed on my own dime, and put that together because that is actually a project I've been wanting to do since last year. Last year I had reached out to a lot of powerlifters and I planned to do videos similar to my George Lehman one, and that was a new direction I really wanted to go in. And then I ended up quitting YouTube, and then when I came back I was doing the comeback series, so it never happened, but this year I wanted to make it happen. I have a lot of other great lifters of all different types, all different federations lined up. Some of them you probably know and love, others you probably haven't heard of, but the problem is you gotta wait until these lifters are peaking. Not everybody's training super heavy any given week of the month. So some of them I have to wait until August, some of them I have to wait till the end of July, but either way I have a lot more coming. Very excited. That Eric Lillibridge video broke 100,000 views in its 5th day up, so thank you guys for watching. I put a lot of work to that. I have more to come. Thank you guys so much for supporting Made, especially the other day on the Instagram sale we had for 1 day. If you're watching this video right now, I'm going to do a YouTube sale, and all Made Athletics t-shirts are 20% off, shipping to every single country worldwide. So madeathletics.net, it's in the info box below. Every single Made Athletics t-shirt, 20% off. I'm going to run this sale for a few days, just trying to clear out inventory before I move at the end of this month and make room for the new stuff we have coming to Made. So Ricky! What do you think of this place?
Dude, this is so legit. I'm so ready for you. 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. Let's go.
You're gonna love that deadlift bar. Super whippy.
Which, the one that's currently on?
Yep. About to plug in my phone to the stereo, so writing down what I have to do today on a piece of paper, so I can keep the paper right next to me, and I have to keep running back to my phone to check. What's your body weight?
163.8 pounds.
Today's sort of a redemption day for me because I traveled 2 weeks ago and the travel made it so I really didn't get to train on that week. And then when I came back to training, just from the lack of sleep, pulled a few all-nighters, the lack of eating, and the lack of training, my squat workout went terribly. I was supposed to do 410 for a 3x3, and I did my first set of 3, and it felt heavy. My second set of 3, I got to my second rep and I knew the third one would have been a grinder. So I just racked it and I called it a day. So this workout is like mental redemption. I ate well, I slept well, I rested up, and I got my mobility done, so I'm nice and loose again, and I'm ready to kill it. So I went to ENAC today, which is the private powerlifting gym I train at too, with Ricky. Reunited with Ricky. It's been a long time since him and I train together. We always get great workouts together, even if we're not training the same thing. He was doing deadlifts, but if we're just in the same vicinity, we can pump each other up and motivate each other. So went to ENAC, blasted the music, had the whole gym to ourselves. Used the Monolift because it's
I mean, I walk out my squats anyway, because I compete in USAPL, where you have to walk out your squats. So whether it's a mono rack, a stand, or a squat rack, it doesn't matter to me. But I use the Monolift, and I got back on board the squat bar train. For the longest time, I've been using the Ohio Power Bar because it's identical to the Eleiko bars that we use in the USAPL. So when I was getting ready for the USAPL meet, I was using the identical bar. But now that I'm back, kind of off season, if you will, jumping back on the squat bar, it's different. It's thicker, it's 30 millimeters. It's about 8 feet long versus 7 feet, and it weighs 55 pounds. It feels better on my shoulders, personally, because it's so thick. It doesn't dig into my shoulders quite as hard as a normal bar does, so it feels a little bit better on my shoulders. And what I've noticed is because it's so big, for a smaller built guy like myself, like anybody who's under 6 feet and under 200 pounds, I think the bar is so big that you have to put extra focus on staying tight, on keeping the chest up, keeping the back tight, because it's just such a big bar, it wants to kind of collapse you forward. So you have to put this extra emphasis on staying tight, keeping your form nice and tight, and then when you go back to a regular sized bar, it feels like butter. So I do like training with the bigger bar when I'm not getting ready for a meet, just because it makes the regular bar feel much better, and it feels better on my shoulders. As far as the Monolift goes, a little fun fact, obviously I'm walking it out because I compete and I walk out in my meets, but also because I don't know how to use a Monolift optimally. I mean, yes, I know how to stand the bar up and have someone lift a lever. I know how the function works, but there's actually a lot of skill and technique that goes into unracking a weight off of a Monolift optimally to get the most out of the Monolift, because the whole purpose of the Monolift is to take away the energy loss that occurs when you walk the weight out. Obviously when you unrack it, step backwards, that's using energy. So with the Monolift, if you use it optimally, you just stand the weight up and then you have all your energy going into the rep. But there's a lot that goes to it. Eric Willybridge was actually telling me when he first switched to a Monolift, he would lose balance often. And it makes sense. First and foremost, you have to get your feet planted exactly where you want them to be when you're squatting before you even unrack the bar. It sounds easy. If you told me, Nick, find your perfect squat stance right now, I can close my eyes and I can step in it right now. This is the perfect squat stance for me. I can feel it out while I'm standing all the way up because I'm used to doing that when I walk it out. But try finding your perfect foot stance when you're hunched over like this, tightening your back, getting under a bar, and then try finding it. Most likely you're gonna think you find it, stand up with the weight, and then be like, oh wait, and then shimmy your feet either in or out just to get it perfect because it's not completely perfect. So finding your foot stance while you're getting under the bar is a skill in itself. Then you have to master perfect balance, because if your feet are planted too far forward, you're gonna go to unrack it and you're gonna fall backwards if you can even unrack it at all. And vice versa, if you get your feet planted too far back, you're gonna have to good morning it up. And if it's a heavy weight, you're not gonna be able to get it up, period. And then you're gonna find yourself scrambling to get further under the bar, and then you lose your foot stance and tightness all over again. So in a perfect world, some people have it towards the back of the pegs, some people have it towards the front of the pegs. That's irrelevant, but in a perfect world, if you use the Monolift optimally, when you lift the bar up, it just goes straight up. It shouldn't be moving forward or backward at all. So it's a skill all in itself. That's just a little fun fact. I have not been taught it, I have not mastered it, I have not learned it, so I'm not one to give you directions on how to master it. That's just what I've been told goes into getting good at using a Monolift. It's a little fun fact for the day.
So to clarify what the game plan is, we're beginning this workout with 3x3 tempo squats using 325 pounds. Tempo squats are just regular squats, but with a 3-second negative. This really helps you train your form and technique and keeping everything really tight. After, we move on to regular squats with a quick double of 340 pounds and 375 pounds to warm up. And then we do a 3x3 with 415 pounds. Word of advice, if you're doing tempo squats before regular squats, give yourself like 10 minutes of break time before you start the regular squats, because doing the Valsalva maneuver and basically holding your breath for 3 seconds per rep makes you really dizzy, so don't rush into it. The main focus today is really getting my core bracing down pat optimally. I have a bad habit of raising my back up. I always punch my gut. I always push the air into my gut, but I raise my back up first because for a while I got into this bad habit because it felt like the bar was crushing me and I couldn't get good air in. So I'd raise my back up to let the air in, then lower my back down, lower the bar down, and then punch my gut. But all that movement is not good, so I'm trying to get rid of that, and I'm happy with how everything felt today. In case you can't tell, my go-to PR song is Renegade by Head PE. Every time I'm at a meet, that song's on replay in my headphones. And I put that song on for all 3 of my working sets today. That has been my go-to PR song for years. It's the only song I put on when it's time to put in serious work. I had to dub something over it just so I wouldn't get nailed for copyright, but you can probably hear a little bit of it in the background. Ended this workout with some cool accessories. Bulgarian split squats. They suck, but they are so beneficial. If you have any sort of imbalances or weaknesses, one leg's weaker than the other or has less mobility than the other, these will point that out quickly. They're painful, but they're beneficial. They really help with building your balance, which builds your stability. If you have Bambi knees, knees that buckle in the squats, these will help fix that. They help strengthen up your glutes. I mean, they're just amazing all around.